Welcome to part 9 of my walkthrough for Final Fantasy IX, my friends. In the previous segment we took care of Black Waltz No.2 and now we're going to board the airship and travel to Lindblum. Zidane's going to trick Steiner and he's going to take the ship to Lindblum. And we're going to have another boss fight against the final Black Waltz No.3. But honestly, I think Black Waltz No.3 is easier to deal with than Black Waltz No.2. Plus Vivi is going to be on rage mode during that fight, so that will make things easier. Even though there's a lot of useful items that we can steal from Black Waltz No.3. And Steiner thinks that he's getting the best of us, but he's really not. And just as you saw at the start of this video, I bought another Mage Masher because we'll need at least 3 so that we can get some brand new weapons for Zidane. Later on when we arrive in Lindblum, we're going to head to the synthesist's shop and we're going to get 2 new weapons for him. So make sure you buy an extra Mage Masher. You should have 3 because you stole one from Baku, you can get one from the Ice Cavern and you can buy another one at the store. And that's really all that you need. And of course we're going to tell Vivi that he doesn't look like the other ones, and he doesn't, he's shorter for once. You know, not all human beings look like each other either. Sure, they have some similarities, but I guess that's the same thing with black mages. Poor Vivi is having an identity crisis, I think. This entire segment is one of my favorites in the game. For once, Steiner starts redeeming himself and it's just going to be very intense from here up until we reach Clara. Lots of things will be happening. Yes, we'll be playing Chocobo hot and cold later on, and that's going to be a little bit of a side quest that will begin, but aside from that, lots of things will be going on during this segment. Come to think of it, how did Vivi get to Alexandria in the first place? It seems like it would be a very hard travel for him to do on his own. Vivi won't be able to catch a break here. At this point all the black mages seem to be mindless puppets, and Alexandria isn't using them for any good, that's for sure. To be honest, it has to be very hard on Vivi. I mean, think about it. Imagine if you thought that you were the only actual human being in the world and then all of a sudden all of these people who kind of look like you appeared. It's interesting. There's a lot of characters that suffer from identity crisis in this game though. But that's a good thing. In the sense that it's different than most Final Fantasy games, I think. I think this game touches issues that the other games kind of avoided. And one thing that I love about Final Fantasy IX is the fact that pretty much all the main characters are important to the plot, as opposed to Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII, for example, where your supporting characters really didn't matter all that much. That's my opinion, however, so... And why would you announce that, Steiner? That doesn't seem like a very bright move. Okay, finally Steiner starts seeing things a bit more clearly here, and he starts redeeming himself. Like I said, he starts getting a lot better from this point forward. Steiner has finally had it with Zidane. I think this is the only time we actually see Zidane use his monkey tail for his advantage here. Okay, this scene is rather depressing, honestly, but Vivi steps up, and you're about to see Vivi get very mad here. And Vivi is going to get mad here. So it's time for another boss fight, and I can understand that you might be very upset with Black Waltz No.3, but keep in mind that Black Waltz No.3 is just a puppet in all of this. The true culprit is the Queen, because she ordered their creation. But anyway, this fight isn't too bad. Dagger won't participate in the fight, so we can't use her to heal our characters. But Black Waltz No.3 magic isn't that bad to deal with, so we shouldn't have too many problems here. Okay, let's do this. So for this fight, before we finish off Black Waltz #3, we want to steal from it. It has 3 items and we want them all. If you have the bandit ability equipped, it will be easier for you to steal, so it shouldn't take that long. And Vivi starts out this battle in trance mode. And with Vivi's trance you'll be able to cast 2 magic attacks per turn instead of just 1. And I'll try to have Vivi deliver the finishing blow here. Just make sure you steal from it before you end the fight. You'll want the silver gloves that it has. Even though it might take a little bit for you to manage to steal everything. But with Bandit it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, we only need to steal one more thing now. The silver gloves. Keep your character's health high, because at one point after you deliver a certain amount of damage, it will start using level 2 magic spells like Freya and Tandara, so make sure you keep your character's health high, just in case it targets only one of your characters. That attack can deal over 100 damage per turn, so if your character has low health, he might be a goner, and you don't want that. We should be able to steal sooner or later. I'm just gonna deal a little bit more damage. Once you deliver enough damage it will fly. It will start flying, but it doesn't really change anything. It will just keep using level 2 magic attacks. So let's give Vivi a potion. Okay, we got the silver gloves, so now we can finally finish off this fight. And with this round it should be enough. It's only appropriate that Vivi delivers the finishing blow here. And there we go! So that's it for Black Waltz #3. We'll encounter it again later on in the game, but for now we've won this fight and we've avenged all those poor black mages. I think that even though the black mages that perished didn't seem to be, they just seem to be puppets really, I think that seeing their kin being attacked just made something spark on their heads and they just automatically decided to defend Vivi. Either way, this is probably one of the saddest scenes in the entire game. I feel bad for Vivi. And of course these 2 chesters are involved in this. Can't wait to get rid of these guys, but we're going to have to wait almost until the end of the game before we can do that. Because even though they seem like, well, they're literally a couple of clowns, they end up doing a lot of bad things in this game, so I can't wait to fight them later on. Finish them off once and for all. I actually kind of feel bad for Black Waltz #3 because, again, it's just a puppet in all of this and its meaning of creation, its entire meaning of existence is to destroy, so that's kind of sad. But just sit back and enjoy this awesome cutscene where Vivi once again steps up to the plate and just gets his revenge. He really gained a lot of courage during this segment. So that actually turned out pretty well. Even though poor Vivi lost all of his friends, or I guess you can't really call them his friends, but just other black mages that look like him. And once again he is facing an identity crisis because he thought he was the only one. Still, that has to be one of the best cutscenes in the entire game. But, well, at least Steiner isn't obsessed with taking Dagger back to the castle anymore, so... Like I said, he starts getting a lot better here. And he's going to motivate Vivi as well, so... That's all you can ask of the guy for now. They do bring up a good point, even if they kind of all look alike. They're all individuals. I mean, everyone has their own personality, so it's no different with Vivi. And here we are, finally we arrived at the castle of Lindblum, and there's going to be a lot of things for us to do around here. Lots of weapons for us to buy, lots of items for us to find. So we'll be staying here for a while. I really like how in Lindblum they mix high tech with this medieval feeling. It's really interesting. Whoever thought of this concept did a good job, I think. What's wrong with their company? To be honest, this entire segment is just a very big dialogue scene. We can't really do a whole lot for now, but it will develop the plot of the game quite a bit, and we'll be introduced to a new character that will join our crew, so the plot really starts developing fast once you reach Lindblum. But this is also the perfect opportunity for you to start taking care of some side quests and start playing the Chocobo Hot and Cold minigame. We'll do that a little bit later on. And we'll also be using this opportunity to train Zidane a little bit, because he needs to gain a few levels so that he's ready for the Festival of the Hunt. So I think we're all going to be a little bit surprised with the appearance of the Regent, but to be fair, it's actually quite hilarious. Quite the intro. There always has to be a Cid in every Final Fantasy game, and this one's no different. In this one, well, he's the king of a city, but he's also related to airships, which is a Final Fantasy trend. In fact, much later on in the game we'll be piloting the Hildegard No.3, which is going to be our first proper airship. And we'll be flying across the world a lot with it, because there's going to be so many side quests for us to complete. Soup of Silence, that's today's special in this restaurant. I don't know what that means, but it's not the weirdest thing in Final Fantasy IX, I guess. I mean, there's literally a guy who looks like a mushroom drinking in that table to the left of us. So here's our new teammate. She'll be joining our crew a little bit later on, but this is the first time that we're introduced to her. And I don't know if you noticed this, but that guy, that old guy in the counter, he just passed out. I think he drank a little bit too much. I never noticed that in the original game, but now I can clearly see it. You really notice little details that completely passed by you in the original game because there just wasn't as much detail. So Freya will be our new teammate. She's a dragon knight. She can use the jump command, where she jumps into the air, then disappears for about a turn and then comes crashing down and deals heavy damage to our enemies. She also has quite a unique set of skills, and she can deal a lot of damage with her special attacks. So she's a very good team member to have in your party. I use her a lot. She can deal 9,999 damage easily with her special skills. Well, later on in the game, not at this point obviously, but she will really come in handy. And Freya, she can equip pretty much everything that Steiner can equip, because they're both knights. So whatever items you give Steiner, you can give to her as well. So it seems that it was Regent Cid who wanted to kidnap the princess in the first place, but I'm guessing Lindblum has some sort of spies or something in Alexandria, because I don't know how they would know that there's some mysterious things going on there. Or they were just aware that Alexandria was producing those black mages already. I don't think they were though. But considering Alexandria is preparing a full-scale war, it's easy to understand that the surrounding nations would be aware of it. Kind of like with Germany and the Second World War, just everyone pretended that wasn't going to happen. And it's a little bit the same case here, because everyone seems to take Alexandria lightly and they'll all pay for it. Sooner or later anyway. It seems that the regent isn't so noble after all. It crashed because the queen is insane and she actually didn't care that much about her stepdaughter at all. Poor Vivi still has a lot of things to think about here. So I can understand why he wants to be on his own for a while. So now we can get another tutorial on the synthesis shop, but we don't need it. In the synthesis shop, essentially, we can make more powerful weapons than the ones we have, provided we have the necessary weapons or items to develop them. And I'll demonstrate that in the next part. Remember when I told you to buy 100 wrists? Well, they'll come in handy here because we're going to be getting a lot of money. But that's going to be for the next segment. Like I said, we're going to explore the city in the next part. There's a lot of things for us to do. But for now, this will be it. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I hope you found this segment useful, and I'll see you all later for part number 9. Actually, part number 10. But I'll see you all later. Take care.